Hello Displorers, welcome back to another informative video and thanks for watching. In one of our previous videos, we talked about the top 10 most educated presidents in Africa in 2019. And due to how popular the video became, we figured it would be fair to make another video about the least educated presidents in Africa. The leaders of a nation play a great role in deciding the future of the nation and are responsible for the nation's progress. A nation can progress only through decisions of learned and educated leaders. However, having a university degree doesn't automatically make you a great leader, considering the fact that there are leaders with several master's degrees and PhDs who are still unable to lead. Despite the fact that having a proper education is a plus for leadership, the African presidents on this list are in no way bad leaders due to their lack of university degrees. Actually, some of the best leaders on the continent have little or no formal education. If you're new here, welcome. Be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our videos. In this video, we're talking about African presidents with no university degrees. In one way or the other, they are educated but are amongst the least educated. With that said, in no particular order, here are the top 10 least educated African leaders. Number 10. Isaias Afwerki, President of Eritrea. Isaias Afwerki, born on the 2nd of February 1946, is the first and current president of Eritrea, a position he's held since after the Eritrean War of Independence in 1993. Isaias grew up in Asmara and graduated from Prince Makonnen High School in 1965. His situation is quite interesting. He was actually a good student, passing his final year exams in high school, thus gaining admission to study engineering at the Haile Selassie I University, today known as the Addis Ababa University. However, he dropped out as he decided to join the Eritrean liberation struggle. That was a bold move, leaving your studies all in the name of democracy. Look where it got him. He is Eritrea's first and only president. Number 9. Paul Kagame, President of Rwanda. Paul Kagame began his primary education in a school near a refugee camp, where he and other Rwandan refugees began to integrate into the Ugandan culture. At the age of 9, he moved to the respected Rwengoro Primary School, about 16 kilometers away from the camp, graduating with the best grades in the district. He subsequently graduated from Tare School, one of the best schools in Uganda, which is also the alma mater of the President of Uganda. The death of Kagame's father in the early 70s and the departure of his best friend Ringema to an unknown location led to a decline in his academic performance and an increased tension to fight the people that belittled the Rwandans. He was eventually suspended from Tare School and completed his studies without distinction at Old Kampala Secondary School, where he later joined the military. Number 8. Muhammadu Buhari, President of Nigeria. Buhari's highest level of education is secondary school. He attended primary school in Daura and Mai Adwa before proceeding to Katsina Model School in 1953 and to Katsina Provincial Secondary School, now Government College Katsina, from 1956 to 1961. At age 19, Buhari enrolled at the Nigerian Military Training College in 1962. In February 1964, the college was upgraded to an officer commissioning unit of the Nigerian Army and renamed the Nigerian Defense Academy. Prior to 1964, the Nigerian government sent cadets who had completed their NMTC preliminary training to mostly Commonwealth Military Academy for officer cadet training. From 1962 to 1963, Buhari underwent officer cadet training in Aldershot in England. Number 7. Ismail Omar Gwele, President of Djibouti. The President of Djibouti, growing up, attended a traditional Islamic school before completing high school and joining the police. He would later rise to the position of police inspector before quitting in 1975 to join the independence movement. Gwele has led the country since 1999 in elections his opponents claim were rigged. His country's strategic position on the Gulf of Aden has made it home to US and French military bases. While serving as the main gateway for trade for its neighbor Ethiopia, Djibouti also hosts China's first overseas military base and Japan's first military base since the Second World War. For many, the country is relatively stable considering it's in a region with Yemen and Somalia, which suffer from political and economic turmoil. Thus, some of the ills of Gwele are often overlooked by the West. Number 6. Omar Hassan Ahmad al-Bashir, President of Sudan. Al-Bashir was born in Hosh Banaga to a peasant family of Arab descent that later moved to Khartoum. The Sudanese leader completed his primary education in the middle north of Sudan before joining the Sudanese army in 1960. He later trained at the Egyptian Military Academy in Cairo and rose through the ranks to become the paratroop officer. When he assumed power in 1989, Sudan was caught in a 21-year civil war between the north and the south. His government signed a deal to end the conflict in 2005, leading to a referendum in the south that resulted in the separation of the south into the separate country of South Sudan. Number 5. Denis Sassou Nguesso, President of Congo. Denis Sassou Nguesso has been President of the Republic of Congo since 1997. He was educated at the Teachers College in Dulce. Soon after, he received military training between 1961 and 1963 at the Officers of Chechel in Algeria and at the Infantry Academy in Saint-Maixent, France. Number 4. Salva Kiir, President of South Sudan. The South Sudanese leader dropped out of school due to wars and other conflicts and joined the rebel group, the Anyanya movement in the 1960s, before joining the Sudanese armed forces following the Addis Ababa Agreement. He subsequently became the leader of the military wing of the Sudan People's Liberation Movement, following the death of John Garang, a Sudanese politician and revolutionary leader of the Sudan People's Liberation Army during the Second Sudanese Civil War. South Sudan gained its independence 7 years ago from neighboring Sudan on July 9, 2011, after a 2005 agreement to end the long-running civil war that started since 1962. Many believe that the country has a long way to go in terms of solving the major problems of child soldiers, lack of media freedom, food shortages, economic instability, and a widespread corruption. Number 3. Felix Tshisekedi, President of Congo. Felix Antoine Tshisekedi is a Congolese politician who's been the President of the Democratic Republic of Congo since the 25th of January 2019. He is the leader of the Union of Democracy and Social Progress, the oldest and largest party of the Democratic Republic of Congo, succeeding his late father Etienne Tshisekedi in that role, a 3-time Prime Minister of Zaire, an opposition leader during the reign of Mobutu Sese Seko. Tshisekedi had to put his education on hold to follow his father when he was placed on house arrest in his native village of Kasai. He later moved on to live in Brussels, Belgium, where he worked at odd jobs and became an active UDPS militant. Number 2. Azali Assoumani, President of Comoros. Azali was born in 1959 at Missouja in southwestern Grand Comore. Until he overthrew the civilian government in 1999, he chased a military career for 2 decades. Between 1977 and 1980, he trained at the Royal Military Academy in Morocco and qualified as a parachutist. On his return to Comoros, he joined the FAC. After the death of Abdullah and the departure of the mercenaries in 1989 to 1990, Major Azali became a senior officer in the new Comorosian Defense Force. He became president in 2016. Previously, he was president from 1999 to 2002, and again from 2002 to 2006. He became leader of the Comoros on the 30th of April 1999, after leading a coup to depose acting president Tajidine Ben Massounde, who he saw as pandering to the independence movement of Anjouan. He won multi-party elections in 2002, prior to which he was constitutionally required to temporarily step down in order to run as a candidate. Number 1. Julius Maada Bio, President of Sierra Leone. Julius Maada Bio is the 5th and current President of Sierra Leone since April 4, 2018. He is a retired Brigadier General in the Sierra Leone Army and was the military head of state of Sierra Leone from January 16, 1996 to March 29, 1996 under a military junta government. Bio began his primary education at the Roman Catholic Primary School in Tihun. After finishing his early years in primary school, Bio was sent to the town of Pujehun to live with his older sister Agnes, who was a primary school teacher in Pujehun. Bio completed his primary education at the Holy Family Primary School in Pujehun. Upon completion of his primary education, Bio's older sister, Agnes, enrolled him at the Bo Government Secondary School in Bo, commonly known as Bo School, a prominent boarding school. Bio spent 7 years at Bo School, rising to become a school prefect. Bio graduated from Bo School in 1984 with A-levels at age 20. There you have it, explorers. Those were the top 10 African presidents without university degrees. Thanks for watching this video. If you want us to cover any of your top 10 topics, do well to leave your request in the comment section below and we'll do well to grant your request. Also, if you did enjoy the video, do well to give it a thumbs up and do not forget to subscribe and share with your friends.